15 participants have joined us and continuously they are coming. So without further delay, we would be beginning with our session. So on the panel today, I am Shivika Gupta, and we have a renowned people with us, which is Mr. Rajesh Agrawal, Chairperson of 1-year program of IIM Udaipur, Dr. Y. Shekhar, Head of Center of Digital Enterprise, and Ms. Tanu from Admissions Office. Now, I would like to hand over to Mr. Rajesh Agrawal for further.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shivika, and a very warm welcome to all the participants of the webinar. And hope this webinar is useful in answering the questions that you may have. And you're very welcome to share any questions that you have in the Q&A section and not in the chat section. So let's go to the next slide, please, Shivika. So before we talk about the program, I think it'll be very important to talk about IIM Udaipur as an institution, because when you join a program, you're joining an institution. And I'm very happy to share that IIM Udaipur is ranked among the top 100 programs by Financial Times, which is a very prestigious international daily from London, in the Masters in Management program in the world. So this is a very prestigious ranking, and we are in top 100. But again, more important is that we are in top 100 for 5 consecutive years. It's one thing to be in the ranking, but we are there for 5 consecutive years in this ranking, which very few institutions in the country are there in this ranking for 5 consecutive years. The other world's prestigious ranking is QS World University Ranking, and we are also present in that ranking for the last 3 consecutive years. Another piece of news is that we have been accredited by Association to Advance Collegiate School of Business, what is called AACSB accreditation. We are the youngest institution in the world, for that matter, to be accredited by AACSB. Only in the span of 7 years of our existence, we got accredited by AACSB. For your information, only 5% institutions globally are accredited by AACSB, and that's where it makes it very prestigious. The reason why I'm talking to you about the rankings and accreditation, because it speaks about the quality, it speaks about excellence that we want to pursue and we have been pursuing. So if you join any program of IIM Udaipur, what we are trying to communicate is quality and excellence is what we practice here. Next slide, please. I see some of the participants are raising hands. What I suggest that you please put your questions in the Q&A section because we don't have the possibility of responding to your raised hand. So please do put your questions in the Q&A section. Talking about the program, this is a 1-year MBA program. So once those who finish this program get awarded with an MBA degree, it's a 1-year full-time on-campus program, which means those of you are working, and if you get admitted in the program, you'll have to resign from the program or take 1 year of leave and then join the program. It's an on-campus residential program, and you must have at least 36 months of full-time experience after your graduation as eligibility condition to apply in this program. Now, some of you might have few months short in 36 months today, but if you shall complete 36 months, even on 29th of February 2024, even then you are eligible. That means the 3 years minimum work experience requirement should be fulfilled by 29th February 2024. And of course, if you have to apply, you have to have a valid GRE, GMAT, or a CAT score. Like CAT score could be from 2020 onwards. GMAT, GRE is a 5-year validity, as you know. Now, one of the common questions by many people, many participants is, what is the minimum score that you need to have to apply in this program, right? Or what is the cutoff? Now, here is the answer in advance, that we are not looking at a minimum cutoff. We don't have any minimum score in mind for processing your application. When we evaluate the candidature of an applicant, we look at the application in totality, which means we look at their scores in the GMAT, GRE, or CAT, their academic profile, their experience, and the entire application in totality, right? So I would suggest this, that if you have a valid score, go ahead and apply. Do not overthink, because it takes only a few minutes to make an application. All right, let's go ahead to the next slide, please. Now, this is briefly the program structure. So because this is a program in business management, so obviously when you join the program, one of the strong focus area is understanding the business management fundamentals. Then you basically get to learn about the fundamentals of digital management, right? So what do you mean by fundamentals of digital management? Is that, how do you basically apply the concepts of digital in a digital organization? How do you understand and appreciate the concepts, emerging concepts, methods, and practices in the field of digital, right? That's what we are looking at, fundamentals of digital management. Then you go and talk about technology and data. So when you say something is digital, at the heart of digital is data and technology, right? How do you leverage the power of data and technology in improving the quality of decision making in the organization? That is what the entire data and technology related courses are talking about. How technologies are basically involved in creating, in managing, and in analyzing data to again improve decision making and help the organization improve its profitability. So that is all about data and technology. Then so far so good. Then we come forward to start appreciating digital role of digital in specific industry vertical. For example, how can digital play a magic in retail or healthcare or social sector or fintech? So you get to basically appreciate these things in the specific vertical context, right? And that is what you do in these set of courses. And then one very important aspect of this course is live project, what we call experiencing digital management. What do we mean by live project? You dirty your hands by actually solving the problems of a company. We shall have projects for you from companies which they are facing in the digital context. And over a span of 3 to 4 months, we would expect you to solve the company's problem. And you'll get to apply all that you have learned in 8-9 months in the last 3-4 months of your program to solve these problems live. There will be an industry mentor, there will be a faculty mentor who will guide you through this process. So that is where we have nicely combined together the concepts of management in the digital context and have given you the opportunity to apply the learnings in a real life situation. So in that sense, we bring the real life to the classroom. Next slide, please. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the business management fundamentals courses would range from finance, marketing, operation research, strategy, organizational behavior, and the whole host. I'm not reading out the names. And then, as I talk to you about the fundamentals of digital management, all the courses related to design thinking, agile, product management, and digital transformation. And then data and technology related courses, blockchain, AI, cloud, and all that. So the entire second vertical, as you can see, is the context of digital, where you get to apply what you have learned in the first term in the management. And then I talked to you about the digital in the industry verticals, such as fintech, social sector, retail, marketing, and things of that kind. And lastly, you are experiencing digital management through a live project, right? So this is the broad design of the program. Next slide, please. So the institution decided that the entire emerging field of digital is so important that it becomes a part of the institute's strategy going forward. And the institution set up, IIM Udaipur set up a separate center for digital enterprise, which is basically have people coming from industry who create an advisory board. And this center basically helps the program in terms of the design, delivery, and further execution of this entire program. And we have Dr. Shekhar with us, who is the head of the Center for Digital Enterprise with us. And he'll talk to you about the activities of the center and how it relates to the program that we offer in Digital Enterprise. Over to you, Dr. Shekhar.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh. Good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. I hope you all had a great festival period and all of you remained safe during that time. So it's a pleasure to be speaking to you about the Center for Digital Enterprise, which was set up in 2019. At that point in time, the focus was to establish this program, the one-year full-time MBA program, christened Digital Enterprise Management. From there, as we stabilize the program, which Professor Rajesh has spoken to you about, we are now trying to build further in the area of the digital footprint that takes us from education to practice, and from practice, hopefully, to the level of policy, where we would be able to discuss future trends with the government as well as with the other establishments that require certain inputs to develop policies for the future. So talking a little about the center, if we can go to the next slide. The center actually focuses a large portion of its time in building the alliance with the industry. It has to be understood that digital being a new subject or a new context, there aren't experts available anywhere in the teaching world that can be tapped into easily. So we do look at professionals from the industry who have interest in teaching to come and teach courses in these programs, to also bring in the practical elements that the students need to understand, as well as to get them more aware of the kind of problems that the organizations that are confronting digital challenges of solving, and how do they go about solving such problems. So all in all, it's a concept and a practice-driven approach that the industry brings in. Along with that, the relationship also helps us acquire projects, which is an integral part of the DEM program, which Professor Rajesh has mentioned. There's a slide subsequently in the webinar, and we'll speak about the projects at that point in time. And the industry also provides us people who are considered to be, the torch bearers of the changes that we are expecting to see. And if you go to the next slide, some of them are on our advisory board. So Shivika, if you can go to the next one. So these are the members who are on our advisory board, highly established professionals in the area of digital technologies, technology companies, startups, etc. And they give us the inputs in terms of what to be put into the curriculum, or what kind of initiatives to take, and what kind of interactions would help the students benefit when they graduate from the institute and join the corporate world. So you can see that there's a wide cross-section of the industry that's covered here. And we've been fortunate to have these people look deeply or very closely into the curriculum that Professor Rajesh spoke about, as well as the projects that these students work in. If you go on to the next slide. So this is about placement, which Shivika will be speaking to you. And after that, we'll come back on to projects, which I will speak to you about.
So I would like to further glorify about this course with some facts and figures. Talking about DEM placements batch 22-23, 100% of the batch was placed with the average compensation of 21.5 lakhs. The major recruiters were Accenture, Infosys, McKinsey Digital, IBM, Public Sapient, NimbleWorks, Reliance Retail. And the roles offered were consulting and strategy, product management, project management, sales and business development, data analyst, and operations management. Talking about the placement batch of 23-24, we are just 2 weeks into the program, and 25% of students are placed in the roles such as strategy, technology consulting, research analysis, and product management. Talking about the transformational journey, this is something which I will be talking on my behalf. Giving a brief background about myself, I'm an electrical engineer graduate who worked into the MNC Schneider Electric into the pre-sales role, and then further joined on the family business, which was export of rice. For me, I understood that the future innovation and sustainability is impossible without being digital. Digital has been embedded into our lives so seamlessly that we need it for our future. Over here, I have gone through 360 degrees of transformation. The transformation through my batchmates as they come from the diverse educational backgrounds. They bring such a fresh perspective, especially which is essential during the case study based learnings. When they tell me how they are thinking, I develop a way of thinking, a critical thinking, which is always needed. I learn through the L&D department. It not only focuses on my placement, but all over my how I have. It makes me the individual of tomorrow. I reflect on my current, past, and future, the individual I want to be. I learn through experiments. It's not all about theory, but how you implement. I learn through the industry talks, the people who come from industry and teach us what is going on. And we are so updated with the current curriculum that we can easily interact with them, give our suggestion, learn from them. We are working on multiple live projects. When I talk about the multiple live projects, these are from various renowned institutions such as InfoEdge, Tech Mahindra, Deloitte, Nimble, Tata Digital, and many more. Talking about the live projects, I would like to ask Dr. Y. Shekhar to tell a little bit about it.
Thank you, Shivani. Shivika. My apologies to you to hand it over back to me. Projects are an important aspect of, as Professor Rajesh mentioned, dirtying your hands. And what we mean by that is this is where these students get an opportunity to translate the concepts that they have learned through various methods in the classroom to apply and solve real-life business problems. Now, the organizations that Shivika spoke about are the sponsoring companies, and few of them who have given us projects. And over the last 4 years, we've seen the kind of shift that has taken place, clearly indicating how the industry is expecting the students to be more at the cutting edge of the digital space. For instance, in the batch of 2020, a large number of projects were analytics oriented, which is just large set of data which you had to analyze. In 2023, a bulk of it, as you see, is on AI. And analytics is embedded in AI. So you see how AI itself is becoming a large footprint and something that the CEOs are concerned about as to how to implement AI in their organizations or what kind of environment they need. And this is where the students are actually working to looking at solving problems that the organizations are facing in their competitive landscape. So the program therefore takes you much closer to practice. And this is where the project experience adds to the overall learning that the student go through from this particular program. I hand it over back to Shivika and to Professor Rajesh, and would be joining you in the Q&A session.
Right. So thank you very much, Dr. Shekhar. So I would like to say this, that if, four different parameters that, you'd like to consider, that we believe this is the only program of its kind in the country where it is combining the two things, which is the, management as a discipline, management as a course, and the context of digital, right? So that makes it a unique program. And I don't think we have very many programs like this in the country. Digital is the future, and that also makes it unique. If you choose this program, then of course you get the prestigious MBA degree from here. This program is very heavily industry-oriented, both in its design and delivery. So the advisory board of the center is involved in helping us design the course, what is relevant, so that we bring what is cutting edge and what is the real world wanting from our graduates. At the same time, the same set of people are also involved in delivering the program. And that's where it's very, very useful and important. IIM Udaipur's credentials, I talked to you a while ago, is a premier institution. Now, I would say this, that if management as a discipline, MBA is something that's your career goal, and if you believe digital is something which has the future, which holds the future for a few decades to come, then perhaps this program is something which is very, very worth considering for you, because this is a unique offering from IIM Udaipur side. But at the end of the day, you should take a decision what is good for you. Ultimately, what matters the most is not what is good for IIM Udaipur, but what is good for you. you must be comfortable and you must be happy about, whether it's, you should be considering this only if it aligns with your career goals, right? So now, next slide, please. So, we will answer whatever questions you have now. And if there is any question that strikes you even later on, you're very welcome to drop an email at this email ID or call us up at the number that's flashing on your screen. I would urge you to take a screenshot of this, right? So please do take a screenshot of this so that you can reach us anytime subsequently. And now I would request Shivika to answer any questions that you may have. So over to you, Shivika.
So there is a question from Singer. Are there any profile-based shortlistings and selection, or is there some weightage for GMAT score as well?
So let me take this. As far as shortlisting of the candidate is concerned after they apply, we mentioned that it is a variety of factors taken together. Of course, your GMAT, GRE, CAT score counts is an important component, but we also look at other, aspects of your application. So it's a combined thing, and certainly GMAT, GRE, or CAT score plays an important role.
There's a next question from Jayesh Sharma. What is the last date? And I'm seeking CAT as well. Shall I wait for the result before applying?
Okay. Let me take this and I'll come to Tanu in a moment. So if you do not have any valid score as of now, GMAT, GRE, or CAT, then certainly you can't apply. You have to wait till you have a valid score. Now, with respect to, the last, I request Tanu to let you know about the last date.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Jayesh, the last date for this cycle is 21st of November. And as per your question, I think you may have some GMAT GRE score and you are about to give a CAT. So I suggest that you should apply with the score you have and don't wait for the CAT exam. And you can apply in this cycle only.
And if you do not have any GMAT or GRE score and CAT is the only exam you have written, then certainly you have to wait till you get the score and then you can apply in the subsequent cycle after you have received the CAT score.
So the next question is from Smith T. Can you please guide on video essay? Should it be creative? Should it be shot via laptop, mobile? How many minutes should it be? What should we present in the video? Any specific question we need to answer in the video? So since I was in the same shoes last year, I would just say you that it is not where how you shoot it on laptop or mobile, but it should be a clear video which can be easily comprehended. And it should be about you, why you want to join this particular MBA course. It should be nearly about 1.5 to 2 minutes, describing a brief about you, your background, and what makes you interested in this particular course.
Let me also add here, I mean, this is the provision for the individual to speak about himself or herself in areas that may not have been covered in the profile. So there could be certain creative aspects or certain things that the form may not have elicited. So please use the video to express yourselves. One of the aspects is that the video is also an exhibition of your communication skills. So that comes out very clearly.
So he has one more question. Can you share the badge profile percentage of engineers versus non-engineers?
Can we get back to him? We would have that percentages, but we can get back on that.
But then on that, I must say this, Smith, that, in this program, we welcome people or students from all backgrounds. It is not important that you have to have an engineering background or an IT background. So it's a background agnostic program. But what is important is you must be excited about digital. Then everything works out. In fact, last year, even this year, we have people from language background, German language or literature, but they are passionate about digital. So then everything falls in place. So we are not looking at a specific background, right, in engineering or non-engineering. And if you think, it doesn't matter whether you have engineering or non-engineering, so long as you are excited about the program, you can apply.
So next question is from Shashank Tripathi. He has mentioned about his profile, his marks, and is saying he's in graduation since he has got 60%, 65%. Is it possible to get admission in the course? And what will be the approximate percentile required for this course?
Shashank, let me answer you. So as far as you have work experience of 3.3 years, that means you, based on what you are saying here, you already have 3 years of work experience. You have given the description of your course. On a webinar, we cannot discuss whether you will be shortlisted or not. The best thing is that for you to apply, and then the committee will let you know that, whether you're shortlisted or not, right? That's the best way forward.
So we have the next question from Jayesh, that can the video be longer than 2 to 3 minutes? That if the video is longer than it, will it have any adverse effect?
Dr. Shekhar, would like to answer this?
Yes. So typically 1.5 to 2 minutes, as Shivani mentioned, is the ideal time where people who are going through the videos will have their attention paid to the content and the image that is there. If it is longer than that, unless your content is very strong, we would not advise you to go beyond that timeline.
So next question is, when can I expect a response after submitting my application?
Tanu, can you take that?
Yeah, I'll take this. So after submitting your application, tentatively within 2 weeks, you will receive outcome of your application. We will let you know by email.
There are some questions, Shivika, I can see in the third category about people asking about the fee structure by Samir Khan. Can you read that question now?
So he wants to know what is the overall fee structure of MBA.
Yeah. So go ahead, Tanu.
Yeah, sure, sir. So the overall fees of the program is 22,75,000, including the living expenses, and the detail of the fees is available on the website in the fees and financing section. We also assist students with the bank loan. We have a tie-up with the bank, and they can help you to avail the loan facility.
Thank you, Tanu. So we have a tie-up with State Bank of India, Udaipur branch, and the loan processing happens very quickly. Most of the students who join the program avail of the State Bank of India loan facility. Having said that, you are free to seek a loan from any bank that you wish. But I just mentioned that, as Tanu mentioned, that we have an arrangement with State Bank of India. And it's important to see that 22.75 lakh of fee is inclusive of your living expenses, your boarding, lodge, and everything put together.
So next question is from Prateek. Interview dates for round 3.
Yes.
So Prateek, regarding the interview dates, once the deadline will be over, we will get back to you within 1 week or 2 weeks for the further process.
The next question is from Jayesh. Is there any foreign immersion? And if not, can students plan together by making a team for a week or something?
Jayesh, it's a nice and interesting question, but let me give you a little context to the DEM program without appearing to be bragging about it. First and foremost, it's a program which is one of its kind in the world right now. We don't have an equivalent anywhere else in any of the universities. Having said that, the program is tight. It is heavily packed. And you have no time to move out from the institute. That's why your projects are also done from the institute itself. You do these projects online. So there is no opportunity for immersion in this particular program as per the current design. If we feel that at some point in time in future that can add value to the overall learning, we shall consider it at that point in time.
So I think all the questions which were there has been answered.
I can see some more questions, Shivika. So there is a question from Vikram Singh that is IT background required? Vikram, we mentioned earlier that it is not required. It may have some advantages if you have it. It may help you, but that's not a requirement. And there is a question from Smith T that is 3 years bachelor's degree allowed? Yes, 3 years bachelor's degree is allowed. 4 is welcome. That's not a problem. But what we are looking for is a minimum 3 years of bachelor degree. So for that matter, anybody having a BCom qualification or BBA qualification, all those students can also apply. And then, I
think we have one more question.
Yes.
What is the strength of the batch?
Yes. So the current strength of the batch of Digital Enterprise Management is 61. The next year's batch strength is expected to be in the region of 60 to 70. That's the batch strength of the expected batch strength of the next year. There are no more questions that remain to be answered. But I mentioned a while ago that if you have any more questions that come to your mind, you're very welcome to ask them later on. And I can see that few more questions are popping up, some by Siddharth, so you can take them up. Yeah.
So the question is, if you could guide me about placement scenario of this course, some one-year MBA institutes don't offer placements.
Yeah, so Siddharth, you missed out the presentation. We have a very strong placement support at IIM Udaipur, and that placement office takes care of the placement with the help of the students. So past 3 years of the program, there has been 100% placement. Last year, average salary has been 21.5 lakh. And this year, 25% of the batch has already been placed, even within 2 weeks of the placement season in progress.
So next question is from Jasmine. Are people appearing in last 2 phases given enough opportunity?
I'm not very clear about, Jasmine, your question. What do you mean by last 2 phase? You mean last 2 cycles of the admission? I'm not clear. If you can rephrase your question and come back again, that will be helpful.
Next question is from Swati Kumari. Sir, does DEM course particularly look for tech-oriented candidates or equally inclusive for non-tech-oriented candidates as well?
Dr. Shekhar, you would like to take this?
Yes. So you answered it a little while ago, but you also add to this conversation. So DEM is actually agnostic to the background that one comes from. Digital does not mean it is technology. Digital has one of the aspects of technology, but it doesn't mean that you need to be a technologist to understand how you pay using GPay. So it's applicable to anybody and everybody. And this is a course in digital management. So management has never been something that specified you must come with a particular background to get into an MBA program. So it is an MBA program. The accent and the orientation is towards digital, largely because the skill gap in that space is the highest between what the organizations want and what the institutions are able to provide from the conventional curriculum. So that is why this program was done. So there is no bias towards a particular profile. You could come from any background. As long as you meet the requirements that Professor Rajesh mentioned in his presentation, you're good to go through.
And the next question is from Jayesh. Could you please help me with the scope and the roles of this program in the industries?
With the scope and roles of the program.
I suppose he's asking for what kind of roles the students get after.
Yes. Yes, I think we spoke about that to Jayesh in the presentation. So typically, organizations that come, that could be the management consulting firms, it could be mid-sized organizations, or it could be startups that are looking at digital as their strategy to move ahead. These kind of organizations look for people who are able to look at both the technology and business side together. So there are different positions, therefore, that open up. It could be the role of a program manager, a project manager, a business analyst, or somebody who is probably good at design thinking to be, problem solving, working what we call as architect of a solution that has a lot of digital components in it. So these are the kinds of jobs that come in. There are product management roles which are also there for these students, but product management in the digital side of it. It is not that the product is digital, it is how to look at digital as the medium for product management.
So the next question is from Prateek. Is the program receptive to a person greater than 10 years of experience?
Okay, let me speak on that. Technically, the answer is yes. But Prateek, if you are seeking an employment after this particular program, which means you want to go through the placement services that is linked to this particular program, it is quite likely that the organizations that are coming to campus may not show much interest with somebody who's got 10 years. It's their mindset. It is not something to do with the program. So we advise or we caution people with large work experience to be aware of this kind of a hurdle. There are students who come with large experience but are not seeking placement support from the institute, in which case, even in your application form, there's an option which is called sabbatical. And if you apply through the sabbatical, then you are most welcome to join this program, subject to, of course, the committee clearing you to be a part of this particular program.
So the next question is from Jasmine M. Are people appearing in the last two phases of admission will be given enough opportunity in terms of admission?
Right, this is clearer this time, Jasmine. So yes, so it's not that people in the earlier cycles have more opportunity or less. So people can apply in any cycle and have opportunity. So you're very welcome to apply in the later cycles. But I would suggest this: if I were in your place and if I have a valid score, then I should go ahead and apply. There's no reason waiting. But if you don't have a valid score, for example, if you have written CAT this year, you have to wait till your results are out. So if I were in your place, I would not wait. But of course, if you have written CAT, you shall have to wait.
And I think next is from Siddharth Malviya. Do DEM course also offer placements? I think that has been previously answered. We had a slide also about the placements.
Yes.
So he's got a follow-up question.
Yes.
I'm presently working as a product manager at ICICI Bank with 3 years of work experience. I'm confused between 6 months DEM course and
No, it's a
6 months
DPM course.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
he's coming from a different background. So let me answer that.
Yeah,
So Siddharth, it's best to use instead of the acronyms, the full names. Especially in this context where you're asking a question, you are looking at two different programs from IIM Udaipur. One is the full-time MBA program, which is Digital Enterprise Management, and the other one is an online course, which is a 6-month course on digital product management. And if I've understood you right, these are intended for two different purposes or two different categories of people. So the 6-month program is to enable you to acquaint your career or your understanding towards product management, largely being infused by the digitalization that organizations are going through. And that is where the course is focused upon. The DEM program is to make you a business manager, a leader in the digital world. So it's a completely different program, and the purpose is to an MBA program is oriented towards making you a business leader, whereas a specific program like the digital product management is focused on skilling you in a particular area so that you move ahead in that direction. So depending on your choice and the clarity of thought that you have to see which program you want to apply to. There is no placement assistance provided for diploma programs or certificate programs. However, you must attend the webinars of that particular program to know if any other facilitation is available to the applicants.
So the next question is from Jayesh. Can I apply twice? I have a GRE score now, but soon will be having a CAT score as well. So can I apply now as well as in the upcoming cycle in case not selected by GRE score?
Sure, I'll take this question. Jayesh, like you can apply twice. You can apply with the GRE score. Even after applying, if you're not shortlisted with your profile, you can apply in the next cycle with your CAT score, with the renewed CAT score.
Let me also add, if you are shortlisted this time around and if you appear for the interview, and then if you don't get selected, then you can't apply. So once shortlisted, then you can't apply again. But if you're not shortlisted with your GRE score, then you can apply with your CAT score. All right, so I see that there are no more questions pending. So I would like to say this, that some of you already have a score and some of you don't. Those of you have a valid score, the best thing is to kind of go ahead and apply without overthinking. Those of you who don't, certainly you have to wait and apply. And I hope you take a decision which is in your best interest. And if MBA is something excites you, digital is something excites you, then perhaps one of the best programs that you are thinking of as IIM Udaipur. And so thank you very much to all my co-panelists. And thank you to all of you for joining in today for this webinar. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
For now.